CEO of ITAP2019, Dr. Ho Chao Sing, Managing Director, National Additive Manufacturing Innovation Cluster. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to all of you, and I'm pleased to join you here at the NAMIC Global Additive Manufacturing Summit 2019, which is a part of the Industrial Transformation Asia Pacific, or ITAP 2019. The 8th edition of the NAMIC Summit brings together thought leaders, early adopters, and industry professionals to exchange insights on the development and growth potential of the additive manufacturing sector. While the current global growth outlook remains challenging, there continues to be areas of strength in the Singapore economy. The manufacturing sector is being transformed by advanced manufacturing technologies such as robotics, additive manufacturing, and the industrial Internet of Things. Industry 4.0 offers immense opportunities for companies to innovate and to transform their manufacturing processes. To ensure that Singapore can remain a key global player in manufacturing, because our target is still to keep manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, as a key component of our overall Singapore economy. We must constantly stay abreast of the key developments and also to look for new opportunities that we can seize. The government is committed to supporting our companies in adopting advanced manufacturing technologies to enable them to capture future opportunities as well as to overcome current challenges. Under the Research, Innovation and Enterprise RIE 2020 plan, we have allocated 3.2 billion Singapore dollars for advanced manufacturing and engineering to build up the innovation capacity of companies that are embarking on Industry 4.0. This will ensure that Singapore has a strong base of leading technology and solution providers that can provide the relevant technical expertise to support Industry 4.0 adoption, making it an ideal location for many companies that want to carry out high-value manufacturing activities here, both for Singapore and also for their customers in the region. Additive manufacturing technologies such as 3D printing will be a game changer for the manufacturing sector. It is already transforming and disrupting simple traditional manufacturing, lowering the cost and time for rapid prototyping. With additive manufacturing, manufacturers can now more easily customize their production processes and reduce overall time to market. I was sharing with Dr. Lindri earlier that when I was in school, I started learning tennis. And I had a tennis coach who would buy a tennis racket from the shop, and then he would customize it by adding weights at different parts of the racket to suit his playing style and his swing. So in a way, that is a very early and primitive form of additive manufacturing. He's using some of this to customize a racket to meet his needs. Today, of course, a tennis player need not do that anymore. You can place your order, and I'm sure the tennis racket company can produce a customized product perfectly suited to your style. They can even do analytics before you buy to see what is the best configuration for you. So that is something which will benefit consumers and improve our lives. Another example I can share with you is in the area of dentistry. Our homegrown startup, Structo, has developed chair-side and industrial scale 3D printers that can print at a lower cost and higher throughput. Structo also has partnered one of our Singapore startup called Xenom to 3D print clear aligners or braces at affordable prices. Xenom's clear aligners are priced at 2,200 Singapore dollars compared to the current market price of between 6,000 Singapore dollars to 10,000 Singapore dollars. And it takes just 3 to 9 months for the front teeth to be straightened. So so far they have partnered close to 10 dental clinics across Singapore, and they hope that this product can be taken, not just used more in Singapore, but also taken overseas to benefit patients from around the region. So this is what my colleague Mr. Lim Swee Say would call cheaper, better, faster. Agencies are also introducing standards to help guide the development and adoption of additive manufacturing technologies. And this includes the Technical Reference 70 or TR70, which provides clear guidelines to evaluate the suitability of additive manufacturing as a manufacturing process for innovative applications. The Singapore Standards Council, the Ministry of Defence, and the Singapore Armed Forces developed TR70 with key stakeholders including NAMIC, the Defence Science and Technology Agency, Singapore University of Technology and Design, Singapore Manufacturing Federation Standards Development Organisation, Enterprise Singapore, and also, of course, the industry. TR70 will expedite the learning curve for end users of additive manufacturing technology and allow for the production of customized spare parts with fast turnaround times. And this supports companies' use of additive manufacturing to enhance their supply chain resilience. With frequent disruptions and rapid changes in the operating environment, companies' initial instincts might be to compete with one another. It is understandable because there are areas where, if you are in the same industry, you do compete for the same customers, you do compete for the same resources. But it is often difficult and time-consuming to embark on the Industry 4.0 journey alone. So I remember when I was in Germany, I went to visit Hannover Messe, and they brought me to the site where they were doing some of their training for the students, for the workers. And this is actually led by Volkswagen. And so I asked them, who are the trainees, who are the workers, where do they come from? So they say actually from all over, and including from their rivals, Mercedes-Benz and BMW. So I said, why are you training for your rivals, your competitors? And his answer was, because there are certain things that are pre-competition stage, and there are common challenges that the whole industry is faced with. So we might as well work together. And yes, there will be certain parts that we will keep to ourselves because we do need to compete. So there are certain proprietary technologies, design that they won't share. But there are certain parts which actually can be shared, and everybody can benefit. You enlarge the size of the pie so that there's more to go around. I thought that was a very enlightened way to think about competition and cooperation, being able to coexist at the same time. It's not 1 or 0. It is how you combine different elements of it. So we hope the same can be done for our companies in Singapore. Don't just see other companies in your sector as pure competitors. Yes, there will be competition, but also find ways to work together and tackle some of these common challenges. And we hope that through organizations like NAMIC, we are able to better achieve that outcome by bringing together industry players. So I'm happy to share that TÜV, German testing, inspection and certification company, has chosen to locate their industrial additive manufacturing center of excellence in Singapore. The Singapore Economic Development Board has been working with TÜV on plans for the new center, and we expect to launch this in early 2020. The new center will provide skills development programs and industrial additive manufacturing readiness index assessment tools that facilitate the adoption of additive manufacturing technologies with quality assurance and parts qualification. Another important partner for us is Siemens, which is setting up its additive manufacturing experience center in Singapore. And this is its first center outside of Germany, where companies can learn and understand advanced end-to-end additive manufacturing production line developed with Siemens technology partners. So prototyping and low volume production can be carried out on-site with the support of additive manufacturing experts. Siemens will also partner NAMIC for its industry transition program, a one-year program that offers hands-on training to help companies bridge the gap between R&D and implementation of additive manufacturing. I think these are very welcome initiatives because one of the benefits I can see is that it will help to lower the cost of adoption for SMEs. For many SMEs who are uncertain, not familiar with additive manufacturing, if you ask them to invest in buying an expensive equipment, that is sort of for their own use. I think there may be some concerns about how sustainable is that, whether there's a good investment. But if they are able to come to this center and get a taste of what it's like, and then they can see how is it being applied in other sectors, in their own sector, they can see how this is an investment that can help them transform their business operations. I think it will give them greater confidence to come on board. It will also, I think, for some of the SMEs, they may not need to buy their own equipment for a start, because it depends on the scale of your operations. Sometimes it's okay to have shared facilities, where when you need it, you can use it. But when you don't need it, then you don't have to be saddled with inventory. So I see a lot of benefits that such a center can help to be able to boost capabilities, and importantly, I think, change the thinking and the mindsets of our SME owners. These examples are testament to Singapore's growing reputation as a hub for additive manufacturing research and deployment for the region. And I urge our industry partners to continue to work with NAMIC in building up our capabilities in additive manufacturing. Now, I've spoken a lot about the technologies, the equipment, the capabilities, the partnership between companies, building up of centers of excellence. But there's one other very important component to make all this work. That is our workers. Government is committed to helping workers adapt, stay relevant amidst the changes in the manufacturing landscape. NAMIC has been working closely with SkillsFuture Singapore to review the current advanced manufacturing training landscape and identify gaps in training programs. Now, this is very important because if we don't factor in the skills of our workers into the overall equation, it is not going to work well. We need a solution, or we need solutions rather. We need solutions that are both good for the company in terms of being pro-enterprise, enlarging our market size, improving our productivity, but at the same time also good for workers, helping to lift their productivity, because that is then closely linked to their jobs and their income. So this is part of the National Advanced Manufacturing Continuing Education and Training, or CET strategy, that's spearheaded by SkillsFuture Singapore. NAMIC has since set up a workforce development cluster committee with partners such as SkillsFuture Singapore, our institutes of higher learning, and international experts to address these talent and skills needs holistically. I wanted to share this anecdote with all of you. Something that I've seen in some of our companies that have adopted technology. Initially, some of the older workers in particular were worried, because it's very natural. Their first question will be, hey boss, are you buying the equipment to replace me? Are you transforming your processes to get rid of me, to make me redundant? So those fears are understandable, they're genuine, and I think they need to be addressed through dialogue, through bringing the workers on board, and letting them know that this is not to replace you, but really we are trying to augment what you do with technology, with better processes. And if you do it well, and the company can grow, the company can create even more opportunities, your pay will go up, because your productivity will also go up. So this is both pro-enterprise and pro-worker. We have to be able to do it in this way. Because if the only way to do Industry 4.0, to do productivity improvement, is to replace workers with machines, you're not going to be able to proceed very far. There will be a lot of pushback, there will be a lot of concerns. So I really urge our industry partners that when we talk about transformation, when we talk about productivity improvement, when we talk about Industry 4.0, it is really about how we augment the human worker and help the human worker to do his or her job better, in a more productive way, to serve customers better, to come up with more innovations. And I believe this can be done. When I visited Rolls-Royce, they showed me how they replaced part of their process with a robot. In the past, they had to have a human worker don safety suits to bring this component very near to a high temperature furnace. But that's both uncomfortable and dangerous. But since working with a SME, a Singapore SME, they have replaced this procedure with a robot. So the robot will now bring the component to the furnace. And the human worker is then freed up to do other things. but they do not get rid of the human worker. They redeploy the human worker to do other jobs. Another example is sets. In the past, they have to have a whole long line of workers sorting out the utensils, spoons, forks, knives. They have since put in place a sorting machine that can do this round the clock and without downtime. Very good, very low error rates, very productive, and they reduce the number of workers for that station to just one or two to make sure that the machine is working properly, but they are also trained to provide some simple servicing. So the workers are better paid, they have better jobs, and the rest of the workers, they redeploy them to do other things, including doing research on how to improve the food that they serve on board the plane. How to make it healthier, how to make it last longer, how to make it taste better. So I think these are examples to show that when we bring technology into our businesses, it need not be a zero-sum game. It is not about replacing our workers with machines or with robots. It is really about how we help them to do their jobs better, how we help the company to become more competitive, and in the process of doing so, create more opportunities for both the company and our workers. So in closing, I'd like to thank industry partners for your support and collaboration for this event. It is by working together and harnessing synergies that we can continue to remain competitive and grow together. I wish everyone a fruitful and engaging session. Thank you very much.